Hi, in this lesson I would like to show you the easiest way you can learn how to hit a forehand volley through progression drills. Best part, all you need is a practice partner willing to toss some balls for you, or like in my case, a ball machine. For the first drill in our progression, I would like you to position yourself about 6 to 8 feet away from the net. And instead of using a racket this time, I would like you to just catch or practice catching the ball. Because I want you to understand that the volley, when you hit a forehand volley, you're not swinging. It's more like a catch and a push. So I want you to understand that by beginning, by just simply catching some balls. So I'm going to set the ball machine soon, and as the ball comes to me, you're going to notice that I will just move forward, reach out with my palm up. You notice that the fingers are spread and pointing up, and I will just simply catch the ball. Another aspect I would like you to pay attention to is the fact that I will not be swinging. So I'm not going to come with the hand from behind me, and I'm not going to follow through like we normally do on a ground stroke. But what I will be doing is just reach out and catch. So keep it simple, just focus on catching the ball out in front of you with the palm up and fingers spread. So very simple drill, just wait for the ball with the palm up, and as the ball comes to me, just catch it out in front, step forward. I want you to notice that I'm not taking my hand back, so everything happens out in front of me. I do not want to let the ball get close to me. The catching should be done out in front, all right? So practice this drill in the beginning. For the second drill in our progression, we are going to begin using the racket. So far, we just learned how to catch the ball with our hand out in front. Next, we'll be using the racket. I call this the big hand volley. Hold the racket by the neck. Let me get a little closer and show you. And with the 3 middle fingers on the strings, okay? Or if it's harder, you can just put the fingers around, inside the neck or whatever feels comfortable for you. So hold the racket and look at it as this would be an extension of my palm, all right? And next, I will set the ball machine to feed balls to me. And as the balls come to me, just like I did previously, I will just catch the ball on the strings. Imagine that this was my palm, as we previously did. So I would just catch the balls on the strings. No swing, no backswing, no follow through, simply just catching the ball on my big hand, all right? Now, one thing that I want you to pay attention is that when I will catch the ball, my racket face is slightly open because I want the ball to bounce off my racket and just go over the net. So we just give it a gentle push. We are not going to swing, again, very important. Another aspect, the tip of my racket is pointed about 45 degrees angled away from me towards the sky. So with a big hand, next we'll just catch the ball and slowly bump them over the net. Again, I'm about 6 to 8 feet away from the net. So let's see how it goes. So I just set the ball machine. I have a big hand with the middle 3 fingers on the strings, and I will practice catching the ball. I know this is a little harder. You might be dropping the racket off your hand, but just hold it gently. You notice that my racket face is slightly open so that the balls bump and go over the net. The tip of my racket is pointed, like I said, 45 degrees toward the sky. So all I did was catch the ball out in front and slowly bump it over the net. Very important, no backswing, no follow through, just a catch and a gentle push. For the next drill in our progression of learning the forehand volley, we will be studying the grip, the proper grip for volleys. Regarding you're going to hit a backhand volley or a forehand volley, it's very important that you learn how to do that using a so-called hammer or continental grip. It is also called hammer because it looks like you hold the racket as you could hammer a nail with the edge of it. How do you achieve that grip? By placing the V of your hand made by the index finger and thumb I'd like you to place it on the edge of your racket and slide it down towards the grip. All right? Once you get there, you'll notice that you hold the racket as you could hammer a nail with the edge of it. Therefore, it's called hammer or continental. Now, the reason we want to learn to hit a volley using the hammer grip is because when we are at the net, the distance between us and our opponents is shorter, so the ball comes a lot quicker. We don't have time to change grips. Therefore, using a hammer grip, it's best because you can hit forehand and backhand using it without obviously having to change grips. So again, you place your palm or the view of your hand on the edge of your racket and slide it down. All right, so the next drill, I would like you to learn how to get comfortable using this grip by bouncing the ball up on the strings. All right, it looks like a simple drill, but if you do this for the first time, you might have some problems with it, but practicing it will become easier for you. Now, very important when you do this drill, because we are working on the forehand volley, I would like you to make sure that your palm is up. So you have a continental or hammer grip, all right, but palm is up. So we don't want the palm down, because this drill would be for learning the backhand volley, but now we are learning the forehand volley. So palm up, using a continental grip, bounce the ball up. So practice this until you become comfortable doing it. Next, since we learned how to hold the racket for forehand volley using a continental grip, I would like you to grab your racket just above the grip. So I would say at the neck of the racket. So we'll call this longhand volley. So using, again, a continental grip or hammer, we'll be getting ready for somebody to feed balls for us, or using the ball machine. And as the ball comes to me, you will see that I will just step forward, catch the ball just like I did previously at step number 2. I will just catch the ball on the strings, holding the racket with the face slightly open, tip about 45 degrees angled. There's going to be no backswing, no follow through. Just as the ball comes to me, I'm just going to move forward and catch the ball on my strings. So I will try to get used to, or get comfortable, catching the ball in the middle of my strings and slightly just bump it over the net. Resist temptation to swing or to hit the ball too hard. I know that in the beginning you might want to start hitting the volleys right away, but I would like you to be patient and follow this progression along with me. So as the ball comes to me, I'm just going to move forward and catch the ball on my strings. Like I said earlier, as a beginner, you're going to have a hard time catching the balls and controlling it using the hammer grip, but through practice you will get better. So oh, by the way, another thing, I don't want you to focus too much on footwork or proper footwork, because this one is something that we'll discuss in practice later. So again, as the ball comes to me, I'm just going to move forward and practice catching the ball on my racket. No backswing, no follow through, just catching, racket face slightly open and tip pointed about 45 degrees toward the sky. So let's see how it goes. So I set the ball machine, I will get the balls pretty soon. Long hand, hold the racket by the neck, and just focus on catching the ball on the strings. You notice that the ball came lower to me, so I bend my knees. All right, so very important, I'm going to tell you in a few seconds. So you see what I'm doing? No backswing, just catching the ball, and not the low ball. You notice how I bent my knees? So very important, if the ball is low, you don't want to drop your racket. All right, instead, I would like you to use your legs. So when the ball comes lower, just bend the knees, but as much as you can, try to keep the racket head up. All right, so we don't want to keep the knees locked and drop the racket to catch the low ball. Instead, we want to bend the knees and always keep the racket head slightly open and the tip up. All right, so long hand volley, just move towards the ball and catch it out in front. Practice that next. Good, now we are ready to volley using our newly learned continental or hammer grip. This time we're going to slide the hand down all the way towards the bottom of the racket, Again, I'm holding the racket as I could hammer a nail with the edge of it. And pretty soon I'm going to set the ball machine to start feeding balls to me. Or in your case, if you have a practice partner, get ready for your partner to toss some balls for you. And as the ball comes to me, what you will see is that I will just step forward towards the ball and just like I did previously, just catch the ball, practice catching it in the middle of the strings. Like I said, you being a beginner, you're going to have a hard time volleying and controlling the ball using the newly learned continental grip. But through practice, you will get better. So again, as the ball comes to me, I will just move towards it and catch it, holding the racket up. Strings slightly open and tip of my racket 45 degrees angled, and just practice catching and slowly pushing the ball so that it bumps over the net. I would like to repeat, when we volley, we don't take the racket back and we don't follow through. Think about it, just catching and moving, and that catching should be done out in front. Keep it simple. So the ball comes to me, I move and I catch it. If the ball is low again, bend your knees, but try to keep the racket head up. So let's see how it goes. So continental grip, hold the racket at the bottom. As the ball comes to me, I will just practice catching the ball. You notice there's no backswing, there's no follow through. Just catching and gentle push over the net, keeping the racket head up. Don't let it drop. All right. Ideally, you should have a 90-degree angle between the forearm and the racket when volleying. So just moving towards the ball, catching it, keeping the racket head up, open racket face. Just keep it very simple for now. Next, because we talked so much about not taking the racket back when volleying and keeping it simple and catching the ball out in front, I have a great drill for you that I would like you to practice. As you noticed, I moved to the back fence where I have obviously a windscreen. Position your feet as far as you can with your back almost against the windscreen. And from here, just practice the newly learned volley motion, just catching the ball in front of you, getting the racket set behind the path of the imaginary incoming ball for now, and just imagine that you're pushing the ball. Now, the reason I brought you here is just to show you that when volleying, if we would take the racket back, we would be hitting the wall, or in my case, the windscreen that is behind us. So I want you to understand that by imagining that your back is against something, if you would take the racket back, you would hit it. So when we volley again, we want to keep the racket out in front of our shoulders and avoid the backswing. So soon I'm going to set the ball machine, I'm going to bring it closer, or if you have a practice partner ready to feed balls for you, place your back against the windscreen, and as your practice partner or the ball machine feeds balls, I want you to practice, just like I will do in a few seconds, volleying without taking the racket back and being conscious that if you would take the racket back, you would hit the windscreen. So let's see how it goes. So I just set the ball machine. I'm with my back towards the windscreen, holding the racket at the bottom, continental grip. I would just wait for the ball and catch it. By the way, you don't even have to step forward. Just practice catching the ball out in front. That's the whole idea of this drill, to not take the racket back. And all this catching motion should be done out in front of you. So the racket should not pass the line of your shoulder. You notice that I'm having a continental grip about 90 degrees angled between the forearm and the racket. Racket face slightly open, tip pointed to the sky. All I did was catch the ball without letting my racket go past the line of my shoulders. So this is a great drill to teach you how to avoid taking the racket back when volleying. Great, so far we learned how to volley using the continental grip and catching the ball out in front. Next, we will be talking about the footwork. So for the next drill, I would like you to wait with the racket set. So we'll keep it simple. Again, just follow with me throughout this progression. Hold the racket out in front, hammer grip, 90 degrees angle between the forearm and the racket. Racket face slightly open, tip pointed towards the sky. From, let's call it the open stance, when your hips are facing the net or the incoming ball, as you see the ball coming, I would like you to step out and load the weight onto the outside foot. If you are a right-handed player, you're going to step out with the right foot and load the weight on it. Then, as the ball gets closer, I would like you to step into it and, just like we did previously, catch the ball on the strings and gently bump it over the net. So we focus on this footwork pattern. Step out, load the weight. You notice that I have very little weight on the back foot. I'm not sure if you can see because of the shadows, but step out, load the weight onto the outside foot, or right if you're a right-handed player. If you're a left-handed player, just do the opposite of what I explained. And then as you catch the ball, I want you to step forward, okay? So you step into the ball and catch it in the same time. By the way, in case I will forget later to mention that power when volleying comes from catching the ball out in front and pushing your weight into it, all right? So you don't want to think that the volley is a powerful shot. Think about the volley as a controlled and placement shot, all right? But if you do want to send the ball with a little pace on it, that comes from pushing the weight and catching the ball out in front, all right? So I'm going to set the ball machine soon. Open stance. As I see it coming, I'm going to step out, load the weight on the outside foot, and then step in as I catch it. Very simple. Let's see how it goes. So get set with the racket out in front, 6 to 8 feet away from the net. Open stance for now. Notice the foot pattern. Step out and catch. Step out and catch. No backswing, no follow through. Just practice this 2 steps pattern. Step out, step in. Step out, step in. All right? So, simple. Racket out in front, step out, load the weight on the outside foot, step in as you catch the ball. So here we are at the last part of our lesson. Forehand volley progression drills. This time we're going to learn how to hit the ball and put everything together, beginning from the ready position. So I'm going to show you the ready position, the footwork, and all the technical elements that we have been studying so far. So like I said earlier, for now, position yourself about 6 to 8 feet away from the net. Here in ready position, as you can see, my feet are about shoulder width apart, comfortable, the weight slightly forward. Hold the racket out in front with a continental grip, 90 degrees angle between the forearm and the racket. Edge of your racket pointing towards incoming ball. Cradle the neck of your racket with the non-dominant hand, me being a right-handed. If you're a left-handed, just do the opposite of what I explained. So if you're right-handed, hold the racket at the bottom of the grip, continental grip, cradle the neck gently with the non-dominant hand. As the ball comes, just like we did previously, I would like you to practice stepping out and pointing the tip of your foot towards the eventual point of contact. So step out, load the weight on the outside foot, and as you make contact, or just as you move to catch the ball, step forward with the inside foot or left foot if you're a right-handed player, and just push the ball over the net. For this progression, I'm not going to emphasize how to hit the ball with power. Just if you can get used to volleying using a continental or hammer grip and catching the ball out in front, keeping the tip of the racket up and just gently tapping the ball over the net alongside with the proper footwork, I think that will be enough. Don't focus on power right now, just keep it simple. Power will come later on after you feel comfortable with the technique and just controlling the racket and ball. So let me review again. Split step, weight comfortably distributed on both feet. Your feet are about shoulder width apart. As you see the ball coming, step out, lower the weight, get the racket set behind the path of the incoming ball, and then step in the same time with making contact and pushing the ball over. I want to emphasize again, when we volley, we don't take the racket back. So always keep the racket in front of the line of your shoulders. And after make contact, try to freeze or come to a stop so we have no follow through. All right? So split, step out, catch the ball out in front, no backswing, no follow through. Just catch it and stop and come back in a split step, step out, step in. Practice this before your practice partner or the ball starts feeding balls for you. Split, step out, step in. No backswing, no follow through. Step out, step in. Just practice catching the ball out in front. So let's go ahead and use the ball machine and put it all together. All right, so split step, ready position, cradle the neck with the non-dominant hand, step out, step in. Let's catch the ball out in front. Just keep it simple. You notice my footwork, how I step out with my right foot, and then as I make contact, I step into the shot with my left or inside foot. Step out, step in. No backswing, no follow through. Actually, right after I make contact, I want to freeze or come to a stop. I hope that you will enjoy these progression drills and you're going to love your new forehand volley.